welcome to another video in our Learn Floral Design series. Today it's not so much about floral design as about accessories. I'm going to show you how to bougie up your vase. See, I can't even say it with a straight face, but yes, I'm going to show you how to dress your vase up just a little bit in an inexpensive way, and you can totally color coordinate it by doing that. As you can see, I've got some ribbons here on my workbench. And we're going to just do a little bit of layering. I've got a brooch. You can just go to your favorite thrift store to find brooches or jewelry, something that you can use as an accent on it, whatever your style is. And then I also have some glue dots because this is what we're going to use to secure everything together. I have two types of ribbon with me here today. I've got the beautiful velvet, which is a really nice sort of luxe feel to it. And then I've got a basic double-faced bridal satin ribbon here as well. I've just picked out pinks because pinks are my favorite color. And I've kept them in the same palette. But if you wanted to, you could definitely do a color combo to pick up your colors if you want. I've gone monochromatic, but definitely contrast is excellent. I've also used two different textures. If you like, you can choose to go with the same textures. These are both velvets. I've got a coral and a peach, which are always a beautiful combination in flowers. So if you're doing a coral peach bouquet palette, you can put those two together. I got satins here. This is a very sophisticated, calm, beautiful color combo. It's a champagne and a taupe or a sand color. Very sophisticated and warm, nice combo. So you can mix and match. I'm using two of the same sized ribbons on here, but of course you can buy different sizes. Definitely do that, and it works as well. I'm going to just do layering of them so I can use the same size but still get a difference in levels on it. I'm going to work on a square vase. You can certainly work on a cylinder as well. That works. A rectangular vase, that works as well. Not a problem. The kind that it doesn't really work well on are the bubble bowls, or any kind that sort of have that rounded shape, because your ribbon is not going to lie flat and be perceived in a nice smooth line. So those aren't as effective to use. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my satin as the base, and I'm going to layer over with the velvet. So what I want to do is I just want to measure the size of it, and I want to leave about half an inch or so overlapping on it, because that is where I will affix my glue dots. Okay. And if you have a lot of vases that you're doing, you can go ahead and pre-cut all your pieces, but depending on the glassware that you've bought, it may not all be the consistent size. So if you've gone with a less expensive glass supplier, you may find that some of your vases are slightly larger, slightly smaller. So if you cut everything just to the one size, you may find some of them come up a little bit short, or some have just way too much fabric. Be ready to adjust accordingly. I'm going to cut two pieces of this because I want to make a wide layer underneath. Okay. And if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know my favorite little trick, of course, to burnish the edges, and that way it keeps it from raveling and it gives a nice smooth finish. This will be underneath anyway, so you won't really see it, but I still prefer to do it because I think a finished edge is going to be your best, most polished option. Okay? All right, I have some of my glue dots here. And what I'm going to do, I am going to take one glue dot and just put it on the underside of one of my pieces. I'm going to take my next piece and put one on the underside of that as well. Then I'm going to stick that on. So my next glue dot is going to go on the underside of the next part because it's going to go over top. Okay, so they're all on the inside and each on each end. And you may want to save putting this one on until you know for sure where you're going to line up. Because I want to do a double layer, meaning I'm going to make a 3-inch band with my 1.5 inch ribbons. Okay, so that's what I mean by a double layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first piece and I'm going to start it just a little bit lower. So we sort of want the top seam to be at the halfway point, okay? And very evenly and snugly run that ribbon around so it lines up in a perfect line with your starting point. Okay, make sure everything is nice and straight. And give it a good tug without distorting it. You don't want to distort the fabric on it. Okay? So there. Got our first one. This one. And we're going to put it just a bit above where we started our first one. And again, keep it very straight. Okay? And snug. We've gone crooked. It got pulled here. Let's get that back to straight. There we go. Okay? And you can use your edges as a guide for being straight. Velvet ribbon, the top part. And again, I'm going to measure that. To be going across the center so that we see the satin above and below it. And we've got two different textures and two slightly different colors, but it is tone on tone, so it's a little more subtle, but still beautiful, beautiful accent, okay? And I'm just going to layer them at the back in the same direction as what I did with the other ones. Okay, and again, nice firm, give it a little bit of a tug, but with just an even distribution of the pulling on it so it doesn't go askew and warped, okay? So here we've got our layers. Very pretty as it is. A little something that you can do if you like is you can take one more piece of this and cut it, and I'm going to slice it in half. Okay, I put some water into the vase, cleaned off my workspace so you can see it, and I have a beautiful little hand-tied bouquet here that I'm just going to pop right in. And we are going to get it settled in there. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, please, I would love it if you could like, comment, share it. That would be fabulous. Subscribe. Please tell your friends about this site if you have other people in your life who are floral aficionados or would like to learn more about how to design with them, or even just to get a little bit more joy out of working with them. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you join again. Thanks.